StockPulse Newsroom, we are talking Mountain Boy Minerals. That's MTB, Toronto Venture Exchange, MBYMF, OTCQB in the States. And I've got Lawrence Roulston here, the CEO. And Lawrence, appreciate the time here. It's been quite a while since we caught up here, up in the prolific Golden Triangle here, doing some field work here at Telegraph. A lot of important details here to pass on to investors. So please appreciate an update.
Yeah, great talking to you, Rob, and appreciate your interest and follow-up. Look, the crew are in the field. We've got, in fact, 22 people in the Telegraph camp at the moment. A lot of work going on, and the results they're coming up with are really, really outstanding. We'll have news on some of the specifics very shortly, but in the meantime, I can say I've never seen a geological team more excited than the group that are up there right now. It's a very interesting project. We assembled this just over a year ago by pulling together 5 separate agreements, consolidated a big property position. We had looked at all the information that various companies had put together, but each of them were looking at small pieces. When we looked at all those pieces together, we got very excited. We consolidated the property, and last summer they went out, and the initial focus was on an area that we now call the boundary zone. It was right on the border between what were previously 2 separate properties, an area that hadn't ever really been looked at. Now, the company that had the property at the north end of this trend, they did some ground geophysics, and the line right at the south end of their property, right on what was then a property line, came up with the best anomaly. So after we consolidated the property, obviously that was our initial focus. The guys went out there, they found copper values on surface all over, up to 17% copper in one of the assays on this area that was previously overlooked. So this year, of course, they get out there and it's their initial focus. Last year, when they found the initial showings, they called it their Nirvana Bowl. And this year, they've already renamed it Nirvana Mountain because the mineralization that they're finding is so extensive. And that's the area where we're focused on our ground geophysics. We're extending that work that was done in 2012. And like I said, I've never seen a geological team more exciting. They're finding copper all over on surface. And it's in exactly the area that you would expect. In the middle of a 6-kilometer long trend, where 2 separate companies were looking at separate porphyry targets, either end of this trend, and we're now focused on the area right in the middle of the trend. So at a high level, that's our update. We're working flat out on this, where everything we're doing right now is aimed at defining drill targets for a program that will begin late in the summer and go through the fall.
A lot of work here, with some underappreciation going on in the market, I guess, to be gentle. But the work goes on. You continue to hunt that hidden treasure here, if you will. So I guess talk about how you see the conditions here, maybe, and if that does impact anything you're doing, or you just flat out wave your hands up in there and said, we're a pretty good deal right here. Keep your eye on what we're doing.
Well, we're certainly a pretty good deal right here. The story has gotten better and better as the share price has gone down. Now, look, as you and I were talking before we started recording, we've been the resource industry goes through cycles, and this looks like a bad cycle. I've seen worse. Every time market goes down, investors throw up their hands and say, it's the end of the world. We're not going to need metals anymore. Forget it, bail out. And of course, the demand for metals is increasing year by year by year. And copper in particular, the electrification that's going on right now, copper is becoming more and more important, and it's getting harder to find it. The situation in Chile is getting more difficult. Bolivia and Mongolia, all these other places that are and Congo, places that are typically the copper producing areas, are getting more difficult. Industry attention is coming back to safe havens like Canada, and to put this into perspective, the Golden Triangle has seen $5 billion of new investment from major mining companies over the past 2 or 3 years. They are recognizing that this is going to become an extremely important area for the mining industry. And companies like Mountain Boy that are making the discoveries are going to be front and center. Our model is like GT Gold. GT made a discovery about 90 kilometers east of where we are. It looks exactly the same as what we have. And it was taken over by Newmont just over a year ago for $350 million. That's our model. We're on that path and looking very similar to being another takeover target here, with the difference being that we have 5 other projects that we would spin out, and investors would get multiple shots at a major discovery here.
Okay, well, a lot wrapped up into that little ball there, Lawrence. So I appreciate the update here. We'll look forward to checking back in. So Lawrence Roulston, he's the CEO of Mountain Boy Minerals, MTB, Toronto Venture Exchange, MBYMF, OTCQB in the States. Lawrence, thanks for that update, and look forward to checking back in if you uncover anything.
Yeah, we're on our on the right path. We'll have news in the next few days, and we'll certainly keep you posted.